seeking to go by the Plea Bargaining Act with the same format. It also help that his persons, the event that officers decide that they're not going to enter plea bargaining with them on stated reasons, then we can also maybe question our attorneys why they are not going to, they are not willing to go into plea bargaining with some accused persons, because the guidelines will tell you how you should do it, and those that you should be doing with, and those that you are not supposed to be doing with. So it's an attempt to, as I said in my opening speech, to create a form of uniformity in the application of the Plea Bargaining Act. We don't have any major challenge with this implementation for now, but for the sake of uniformity. Those of us in Accra, we have the format that we've been using. I know those in Ho may be using the same format, but you need to put paper so that if you are in Sunyane, you cannot say that I do this way because I didn't know that this is supposed to be done. We just want to make sure that across the country we use the same format and ensure that that's actually done. And let me restate my point that the advent of this plea bargaining arrangement should not be used as a springboard by either the criminals or even those of us who are prosecuted for purpose of evading justice. That's very paramount. Under no circumstance should we trade off justice just because we want to have a plea bargaining law implemented. Where we think it's necessary for the Plea Bargaining Act to be implemented, it will be done. Where it's not necessary or it is not required, given the set of facts, it will not be implemented. Because you may have criminals who will take advantage of the situation, commit crimes, and think that they can come pay their way through plea bargaining and then away. So the criminals out there, they should be on notice. We are watching. Our attorneys will not just deal with you because you want to enter into the agreement. They will look at the facts and circumstances to see whether you merit it. If you do not merit it, you won't get it.
So that's the Deputy Attorney General, right?
Yes, Alfred Chiayebua. Yeah, the criminals out there, take notice. Don't think that this will be a springboard to invade justice, and that will not happen. So yes, for a whole week, they are going through training at, and guess where they are? They are Rock City in the Eastern region and all that. So the whole week, they are going through training so that they can know how to properly do plea bargaining. All right, you know, so because there are some new state attorneys, some young ones who also have to understand the process.
So they need to be abreast and conversant with the guy.
Every year they do that.
All right. So let's return to Democracy Hub and the people who have been arrested.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Including Oliver Barker-Vormawor and some other leaders.
Yes. So as we do know, the demonstration happened, a lot of controversies, a lot of incidents happened and all that. Police did arrest some people. Oliver, you indicated earlier, tended himself in, and then ultimately he was arrested as per the police statement that came out and all that. Of course, in Ghana, we work with the rule of law. The police is saying that he and those who have been arrested have committed some crime, and they feel that they have to respond to that. And once you are charged for, we don't know what they have been charged for as we speak. What we do know is that they will be arraigned today, and once they are arraigned, we'll know the kind of charges that will be preferred against them and what their response to the charges would be. So what is clear is that the police have made an arrest. After making an arrest, that is not all. You have to go to the court of competent jurisdiction to put them there for the court to have custody of them. So when we go, one thing is certain as to whether prosecution would oppose to bail is another issue, and then we also know the charges that will be leveled against all of them, and then the number of people who would be officially charged with the offenses that the police will decide to level against them. So as we speak today, that is what we do expect to happen. The Democracy Hub, those who were arrested in relation to this demonstration, including Oliver Barker-Vormawor, would be arraigned, and when they are arraigned, we'll know what charges will be preferred against them and what their responses will be, as to whether prosecution will say that they are still on investigation and whether their plea should be taken and all that before the court today. We'll know.
All right, sure. Thank you very much, Mutalayo Nusa.
Thank you.
Yes,
Lantam.
the best legal affairs, or should I say the best court correspondent or best reporter from the courts.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It's always an honor.
Yeah, we
it's
love
a
this award.
When you are, whatever you are doing,
so happy.
Do it and do it well because people are watching.
Do it to the best of your ability. You know, it speaks to our quotes of the day this morning. Absolutely. If you want to get something done,
Yes.
you will get it done. And if you
Honestly,
do not want to get it done, you find an excuse.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, that is it.
Right.
But anyway, thank you very much once again, Murtala Inusa. So that is it for court today. The papers from today, beginning with the Daily Graphic newspaper on the front page, APC will prioritize people's welfare. That's according to Hassan Ayago of the APC. VRA senior staff petition speaker over proposed measure towards good parliamentary democracy. Hybrid system won't work, Justice Doche asserts, and make Africa arbitration hub for foreign cases. That's according to the Attorney General. So you'll find that on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. We go to the Ghanaian Times. Agricultural productivity, food security. PFJ 2.0 initiative makes giant strides as grains, livestock, poultry, egg production soar nationwide. That's according to Dr. Brian Champon, who is the minister responsible for agriculture. Talking about PFJ 2.0, that is the Planting for Food and Jobs policy of this administration. He says it's 2.0, and he says that there are significant strides that have been made. Also, reform laws on international arbitration. Dame urges African countries, and we don't underestimate contestants in elections. That's according to the EC chairperson. So all of those stories are there on the Ghanaian Times newspaper this morning. We'll take a look at the Chronicle next. And there's always a Bible verse on the Chronicle. And the Bible verse from the Chronicle this morning is from Matthew chapter 6, verse 13. And it says, "And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil." Right? And it's a part of the Lord's Prayer. So, Democracy Hub demonstration. Tactical police avert turmoil in Accra. Suleiman Abrahima, Franklin Kujo, Lord police officers, professionalism. So, that's it for the Chronicle. Okay, small-scale mining won't be proscribed. That's according to Miracle Duka. And Alan picks 40-year-old lawyer as running mate. We're talking about KOD, Kwame Ozudanso. And YE and Ghana report launch entrepreneurship fair. Trains 5,000 youth. So that's it for the Chronicle newspaper. Now, the new crusading guide, it says AG proposes reform on international arbitration in African countries. Police arrest Oliver Baka Vomawo. We will not let you down, EC assures Ghanaians. Miners for Baumia campaign launched as Duka mobilizes small-scale miners for NPP. Police professionalism, tolerance commendable. That's according to Alote Jacobs. And these are the stories on the new crusading guide newspaper. Let's look at the daily guide now. 43 NDC protesters grabbed. So on Saturday, 41 protesters were arrested. And just yesterday, 2 more protesters were arrested. So bringing the number to 43 protesters arrested from the Stop Galamsey demonstration by Democracy Hub. The IGP and the police have been given a thumbs up. 2024 presidential race, Baumia picks top spot. Mahama picks the number 8. And you know, there are some videos going around alleging that Kofi Akpalu and the NPP swapped the numbers after they were picked. So he probably picked number 1 and NPP picked number 5 and they swapped. There are some videos going around which is alleging this. Kofi Akpalu says it's not true. The NPP says it's not true, but it's very interesting. At the end of the day, now we know that number 1 spot is for Dr. Mahmoud Baumia and the number 8 spot is for John Dramani Mahama. Interestingly, Alan Chamanting's on the 13th spot. We've got the likes of Kofi Kranting on the number 10 spot and what have you. So there are about 13 people who have made it onto the ballot paper. So look out for them. Your favorite candidates. Who are you voting for? Cheddar, Alan Chamanting, Kofi Kranting, the NDC, the NPP, Ekuadonko, or is it who do you want to vote for? Yeah. You are spoiled for choice on the ballot. So all of that is done on the Daily Guide newspaper. Also, Dame challenges African lawyers to be world class, and also I don't engage in galamsey. That's according to Hajia Amina. So that's it for the Daily Guide. Inside newspaper. Founders Day. SMG salutes all Africans on the 115th birthday celebration of Osajofo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Also, KLD blasts Baumia over Ghana's economic collapse. And also 2024 presidential race. EC disqualifies PNC's Bernard Mona and turnout aspirants. And the world says Israel's unlawful occupation of Palestine must end. So that's it for the Inside newspaper. Daily Post is what I've got next on the front page. Election 2024, I'm excited. We picked 8. That's according to Mahama. Mahama pledges to end rising food prices, blames Akufo-Addo for government's economic mismanagement. And also mining firm AC Zenon accuses Krontihini of Achimesuom of blackmail because money from firm to community will not be paid into his personal account. Very interesting stuff. So that's it for the Daily Post. And there we can finally go to the Daily Dispatch newspaper. On the front page of the Daily Dispatch, Democracy Hub Demo Police handling and tolerance commendable, former NDC guru. December 7 elections, EC clears 13 presidential candidates with 11 others disqualified, and it's got a picture of how the ballot is going to look like come 2024. So number 1 spot, obviously, Dr. Baumia. Number 2, Daniel Augustus Latte of the Great Consolidated Popular Party, that's the GCPP. Ikuadonko is number 3. Christian Kwabna Andrews of GUM is number 4. Kofi Akpalu is number 5. Mohammed Frimpong is number 6. The CPP with Nana Akosua Frimpoma Sapon Kuma is number 7. Hassan Ayariga with the APC is number 9. But John Dramani Mahama is number 8. Kofi Kwanting, number 10. George Chumberima, number 11. Nana Kwame Bediaku, a.k.a. Cheddar, is number 12. And Alan Chamanting is number 13. So that's it for the Daily Dispatch newspaper. And that should do it for the newspaper headlines this morning. The breakfast review segment, there's quite a lot to talk about. Obviously, we're going to talk about the aftermath of the Democracy Hub demonstration. Also, the NDC still calling for a forensic audit. to the show. You're still watching GH Today here on GHOne Television. We're grateful that you've tuned in this morning here on GHOne TV, reminding you that the show is streaming live on Facebook. We're also live on X, and you can connect with us across all of these social media platforms and let us know that you are with us, and let us know what your thoughts are on the issues that we will be discussing. Of course, on Facebook, it's GHOne TV. On X, it's GHOne TV. On Instagram, it's GHOne TV. You can also find us on YouTube at GHOne TV. So if you happen to be stepping out of the house and you still want to stay connected to us, you can do so across all of these social media platforms. We'll be very happy to continue to have you on board. Now, right before we get to the breakfast review segment, we want to have a little conversation, and we want to understand what your thoughts and what your views and what your opinions are as regards some of the issues, especially that have become topical in the last week. As we're beginning a new week, you can imagine that these issues are going to continue to be topical. And so Democracy Hub decided that they were going to do a demonstration. And the demonstration was to protest against illegal mining, which is ravaging our lands and destroying our water bodies and putting this country in a very precarious situation. Already, there have been many calls from all kinds of quarters on the government and the president to totally stop small-scale mining. There have been all of these calls that have come for small-scale mining to be stopped. And then we can begin to find ways and means and solutions to dealing with the problem. But they believe that if we put a stop to it, then we're going to begin to see some improvement in our water bodies, especially because the turbidity levels are nothing to write home about. With the Ghana Water Company having to filter water or treat water, which is at 14,000 NTU instead of the 2,000 NTU, which is even too much. So it's a real problem. So Democracy Hub decided that they were going to demonstrate, right? A 3-day demonstration that they intended to begin on Friday and end yesterday. And the police say they approached this demonstration with caution, with a mentality of de-escalating, to ensure that if anything happens, instead of going all guns blazing, they would rather want to settle down and de-escalate the situation and make sure that they get the protesters to calm down. And so they were trying to do that in the very beginning. But somewhere along the line, some untoward things began to happen with some of the protesters. And the police, in reacting to that, in turn arrested, I think this was on the second day of the demonstration, arrested up to 41 people for all kinds of infractions. We saw some of the leaders of the demonstration, for example, Leader Abaka Vomawo, who went to a police tow truck, took out the keys to the police tow truck, and ran away and put the keys somewhere. I mean, that's obviously an unlawful act. We saw some of the videos of him, trying to push down barricades that had been mounted by the police, and what have you. And it seems as though the police would have been very measured. But unfortunately, some of the protesters had to be arrested. And it brings into question the conduct of protesters when some of these demonstrations happen. We have the right to protest in this country. It's enshrined in the Constitution. We have the freedom to go on a demonstration. And before you go on a demonstration, all you need to do is send notice to the police that, hey, we want to demonstrate. Send notice to the police in time. And then they have to provide you with security. That is what the law says. And Democracy Hub in this particular instance did that. But when you see some of the scenes, for example, what you're seeing on your screen now, with regard to some of the protesters and some of the actions, you see Oliver Barker pushing down some of the police barricades. You see him, taking out the key to a police tow truck, running away with the key. That's a police vehicle, for crying out loud. Running away with the key and throwing the key somewhere. So it calls into question the conduct of protesters. In as much as we have a right to demonstrate and a right to protest, we also have a right to do it responsibly. We have a right to do it responsibly. Because if the police are there to provide us with the protection while we are going on the protest, we also have a responsibility to make sure that our protest is peaceful and it's not chaotic. And the leaders of demonstrations would do well to ensure that that happens. But when some of the leaders themselves are engaged in acts like this, it doesn't augur well, and it gives demonstrators a bad name. To the extent that, there was even an 8-year-old girl, for crying out loud, who was caught in the melee, and I don't understand why the police decided that they were going to arrest an 8-year-old girl. You saw some of the videos. There will always be excesses, and now it is escalating, because now some of the protesters who have been arrested, according to the lawyers of these protesters, are being denied access to their clients, right? And some of them apparently were brutalized. So when there is chaos, or when there is a lack of decorum on the part of demonstrators, and the police have to respond, sometimes the tendency for the police to be so provoked and for them to engage in acts of violence, which will be a breach of the human rights of the protesters, comes into question. So I believe that both the police and protesters have a role to play when it comes to making sure that a demonstration or a protest is peaceful. So anytime there is a protest, police should not be given a bad name. And whenever there is a protest, demonstrators who are on the protest should not engage in acts that is going to give protesters a bad name. And it's very important that this happens. But anyway, these are some of the issues, that are coming up. And all of this was because of galamsey. Because of what galamsey is doing to us. Because of what illegal small-scale mining is doing to this country. It's an eyesore. It's a big problem. And the sooner we deal with the illegal mining menace, the better. Because I fully support the reasons why these protesters decided that they were going to demonstrate. I fully support the cause of Democracy Hub in demonstrating and demanding that there is a stop to galamsey. It's a very noble cause, and I 100% endorse and support it. What I may not support is some of the lawless acts. But in principle, the reason and the cause for the demonstration I fully support. Because galamsey needs to stop. If it doesn't stop, we've talked about it over and over and over again. And all kinds of things have been done in the past to try and deal with galamsey, and we are not getting to the bottom of it. We're getting nowhere with regard to galamsey. We remember when a moratorium was placed on small-scale mining, and we remember when we were told that there was going to be training for those who are doing responsible mining at UMAT, and there are going to be alternative sources of livelihood provided for people who are doing galamsey, and there's going to be reclamation, and there's going to be responsible mining, and drones are going to be procured, and there was Operation Vanguard, and Operation Halt, and Operation Galamstop, and all of this, there was an interministerial committee which was, caught up in some sort of scandal, with, Charles Bissue and co. And all kinds of things were done. Later on, Professor Frimpong Boateng was heard, here talking about party here, Sika. Later on, there were excavators that got missing, and then there were the burning of excavators. A whole lot has happened with regard to this galamsey. You remember the case of Aisha Wang, who was arrested, and she was the senior minister of Safumafo then told us that it would be of no benefit to Ghana if she's prosecuted. She was deported. She found her way back into the country before we arrested her and tried her again. See, this has been the trajectory of galamsey. After President Akufo-Addo said, I'll put my presidency on the line and I don't care whether you vote for me or not to deal with galamsey. And this is where we are. So a whole lot have been done. And it looks like it has been cost 90. It has amounted to zero. And now that the calls are getting louder, getting to elections, then the president puts up another 5-member committee headed by the National Security Minister, and they meet to organize labor, and they are supposed to look at the galamsey fight. And, and it looks like we are just paying lip service and being very cosmetic with regard to this galamsey fight. And we all know, as it stands now, that this government, led by the president, has failed when it comes to the fight against galamsey. They have. That is the truth. And there is no sugarcoating it. So what are they doing about it now? Are they going to do cosmetic things because elections are coming and it become a topical issue? And so a committee is set up and it will look as if we are fighting galamsey and we are really not making any headway? Or are we actually going to take concrete steps? Why is there a certain hesitance to stop small-scale mining altogether to find a lasting solution to this? Does the government really want to fight galamsey? Are they really interested in dealing with the galamsey problem? Because it doesn't look like that to me. Organized labor is making some demands. declare state of emergency, or we may go on strike. Because indeed, we are at a point where a state of emergency is needed. Critical levels. Babies are being born deformed. The kind of water that people are drinking is nothing to write home about. Laced with heavy chemicals. Heavy chemicals because of galamsey that have been dumped into the soil and into the water, and it's causing all kinds of diseases. It's a big problem. And we should be worried, and we should not let our foot off the gas pedal with regard to drumming home the point that galamsey needs to stop. It needs to stop. And this government will do well to stop it. President Akufo-Addo will do well to stop it. Because your initial fight against galamsey failed. It fell down flat. After all the millions of Ghana cedis that was spent on the committees and the drones and the galam stops and the vanguards and the what have you. Money. Yet, we have nothing to show for it. Nothing. So the sooner we stop galamsey, the better for us all. You're still watching GH Today here on GHOne television. We'll take another short break. When we return, we'll get into the breakfast review segment. One of my guests is seated here in the studio, and we'll get into the issues. We'll be right back. Still watching GH Today here on GH1 television, and I mentioned that one of my guests is here in the studio. Adel Umar is here. Adel is a member of the NDC's communications team, and we're happy to have him here in the studio. Adel, good morning.
Good morning, Lantam.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I haven't seen you in a while.
You know how it is. You know, the party decides where to push you as and when they want to push you. So, as and when they send me to you, I'll come to you.
Okay. Well, I'm happy that they've sent you. They've sent you to me today, and we're happy that you're here in the studio this morning. Awal Mohammed from the NDC is supposed to, from the NPP, I beg your pardon, is supposed to join us here. I said NDC. Well, he used to be NDC, now he's NPP.
No, he's NPP. We don't even want him back.
So Awal is supposed to be in that seat, but Awal is not here yet. Awal Mohammed is the PRO of the Youth Employment Agency. He's a member of the NPP's communications team. He's not here yet, but we're told that he's on his way. So when he gets here, he will definitely also bring his input to bear on the discussions that we're having here in the studio. But Adel, let's cut straight to the chase and get into the issues this morning. So Democracy Hub. I've just been talking about Democracy Hub and the demonstration that embarked on, and some of the things that happened, with regard to the protest, where both Democracy Hub and the police are trading accusations. Democracy Hub is accusing the police of being high-handed and brutalizing them and arresting them, unlawfully and all of that, which may have some credence to it. And then the police are also accusing Democracy Hub of deliberately causing mayhem and causing chaos. And the undertone to all of this is that the protest is about, illegal small-scale mining. But first of all, your overview of this protest and some of the things that happened.
Lantam, let me say a good morning to you and to our viewers, your cherished viewers, and then to extend condolences from the Ibrahim family to Mr. and Mrs. Bogo, Madam Rose Bogo, who lost her husband, who lost her dad. Sorry, forgive me. May Allah be with them. This was a message passed on to me by my cousin Bilal Omar, and so our condolences. Having said that, when there are situations, when you have two situations that you need to deal with, you're always looking at which one is lesser evil, as compared to, when you put two situations together, you want to know which one is a lesser evil. If you ask me, everything that went on the demonstration up until now, the actions of the police, the actions of the demonstrators, as compared to children being born without limbs, I'll tell you that one is a much more serious situation. Because I cannot imagine having to give birth to a child with all limbs grown and that child with his full legs, and having to take care of that child and take that child to school and go through all the processes, the difficulty that comes with, and the difficulty that you would have to deal with when you have a child that is not fully fleshed, it is not excusable. When you want the right things done, I mean, who in their right senses would tell us this morning that for all of us, 30-something million people whose lives have been placed at risk, and as we sit, the Brim River is what supplies the Wager, the Wager River.
Yeah.
And you have the Wager River supplying the entirety of Accra. Of course, we did the Teshi desalination, which is currently not running. But you have Wager, which supplies a major part of Greater Accra. And as we sit, only Allah knows what we've been taking in. Lantam, you have young people, 25 years, 30 years, 22 years, diagnosed of kidney-related issues. This thing has been going on for so many years. What we're being told indirectly is that it is okay for the government of Ghana to murder people, but it is not okay for someone to go pick up a key from a car. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. When you put the two on any measure, on any table, it doesn't make any sense. Why? We're fighting for our right to live. So Lantam, let me give you a typical example. A typical example is someone, basically coming at me in my house, puts a gun to my head. I find a way to squeeze him and take the gun from him. I fight back. They say, oh, you haven't tried. But he had a gun to my head. What is that? Like we're some backward people. It is okay for 33 million people, lives to be placed at risk. You're sitting on GHOne, you're working this morning. Only God knows how much you have taken. So Lantam is diagnosed of kidney. Adele is diagnosed of kidney. Awal Muhammad is diagnosed of kidney-related issues because somebody is sitting in Flagstaff House who thinks that he can call the cause. What is that?
Is that a justification for doing things that are unlawful during the demonstration?
Lantam,
because the demonstration itself is lawful. The protest itself is lawful. But then again, if you're engaging in a protest and you engage in acts of lawlessness, the police have every right to apprehend you, do they not?
The police have the right to apprehend you, right? You know that within the Constitution, you cannot have people write their statements without their lawyers. You know you're supposed to read to them what their rights are. You know that the same Constitution tells you that. In fact, you would have to, give them the right to counsel, and you have spread them across 20 different, police stations. And as we speak, the lawyers have not had access to these people. Is that not law being, messed up with?
That is wrong.
That is what?
Wrong.
Yes. That's what I'm telling you. So the people who are telling you that they want to protect you and I, that they want to work with the Constitution, that they want to make sure that you and I are safe, that they are protecting us, they want to make sure that traffic is passing through, are the same people who are violating the Constitution open-handedly, and then when the lawyers call, they say, oh, order from above, you can't see anybody. Order from who? Who is above? His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo in 2016 had his hands behind his back in circle, picking trotro from circle to Carnation. Who was he then? So he's been given mandate. You see, the MPP government lacks wisdom, and they refuse to listen to wise counsel. Lantam, when you're being given power, what you have been given is discretion. Discretion. And in the exercise of discretion, one would have to understand that wise counsel is important. Wise counsel. Listening to wise counsel in the exercise of discretion is critical. It's not something you can take for granted. Why is that? Because in your discretion, wisdom is required. A typical example is this. It is in your discretion to decide that as a government, you've been given the constitutional right to issue out licenses for people to go out there in the mine. Wisdom tells you that in the issuance of that license, you are careful where you give them the license to go and mine. So wisdom and listening to counsel is what will tell you that what you did in 2019 and 2020, like Professor Professor Martin spoke about, was totally unacceptable. Why are you giving licenses to, in the forest reserves? I was on set with Awal last week at, Kesben TV. Mr. Speaker and Okateche went to Bonfa. They arrested a young man. The young man they arrested told them that the person who has the mine is called one Chairman Oluta. Chairman Oluta happens to be the MPP chairman in Joabing. One of the chairman of the Council of State. That is basically his place. This man calls after the arrest and says, I'd like to negotiate. What can you do to help me? You're telling me that the government doesn't know that Chairman Aluta is inside the forest in Bonfa and destroying it with 10 Chinese people destroying it. He doesn't know. The government doesn't know that. And then when I come up and I say, I don't want you to play with my life. I don't want you to mess up the life of my... Lantam, I have kids. My daughter is 8 years old. She's going to school. My wife is having to use this water to cook for us to eat. For a point in time since last week, I said, let's buy pure water. But that is also coming from underground. So you have my daughter, who maybe in the next 10 years would have to deal with issues. Then you tell me that I have taken a key from a car. Charlie, it's frustrating.
I think that's enough.
I am saying, Lantam, I am saying that
the justification that was provided by him was that, well, that truck or that vehicle that was being towed or that was going to be towed by the police contained supplies, water, food items and other things, for the protesters. And they didn't understand why the police wanted to tow the truck. And the police also say, well, the truck was parked at a place where it was not supposed to park. And so they wanted to tow it. So it's been this back and forth.
I'm asking a basic question, Lantam. I'm saying that your life under risk. Your life under risk. Having to drink this water you're drinking, for God knows, only Allah knows how long you've been drinking this water and whatever effects it has on you. You would want to compare that to someone taking out a key. It doesn't make any sense. Because even in law, crimes have levels. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So pretty much, if someone commits murder, you don't equate that to stealing. Mm-hmm. They're different counts. How do you compare murder? This is murder. Do you know why it's murder? Because it's deliberate. Because if Chairman Aluta is walking around and the president can openly say that, Wun to me is not doing anything illegal, when Professor Boateng is telling you that he is, and we're being told that murder at that scale, the life of 30 million people, is far more worse than someone taking a key from a car. It's ridiculous.
Awal Mohammed has finally joined us in the studio. He's PRO for the YA. He's a member of the MPP's communications team. Awal, good morning.
Good morning, Lantam.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Finally, you are here.
Yes, I was caught in the traffic. And, it's been a while that I've been here, so I was thinking we were starting at exactly 8. That is the reason.
How can you think that we're starting at 8? Wow, when you are supposed to start at 7:30? How can you think that we're starting at 8? But anyway, we're happy that you're here.
Myself, I even posted 7:30. If you check, even my updates.
Yeah, so why are you here?
All social media platforms, yes.
So
I'm sorry for coming in late. I did not really deliberately decided to come out at 8 because I even told my fans that I'm coming 7:30. So why will I come at 8?
But anyway, that's fine. It's good to have you here. So we've been speaking about democracy happened, their demonstration, and all the things that have been happening. And Awal has obviously been expressing his views on that. I'm pretty sure you've been listening to him. What are your thoughts about some of the things that happened, with regard to how protesters were treated, how the police handled the situation, among other things?
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Good morning to my brother Adele. And let me take this opportunity to say that we're still doing our entrepreneurship, jobs and careers fair at the Independence Square, where the Ghana Prison Service, SEPS, Immigration and Fire Service are doing recruitment. You don't necessarily have to buy forms. You come there. Their HRs are there. The most important thing is that you come with your certificates, birth certificates and everything. If they size you up and you really measure up, they will be able to employ you. In the mainstream, this is not the usual YEA collaboration. This is the Ghana Report and YEA coming together to bring these people there to do their own recruitment, and it's permanent employment opportunities. Those who will want to learn some rapid skills like fixing DSTV and some few other skills, makeup and so on, are also invited to come, and it's for free. Almost all those who come there will get lunch for free. every day till 5th October, inshallah. So we are still on. That's why I am in my YEA Lacoste. I don't think you've ever seen me on Lacoste before.
Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. That's good to know. Yes. So the fair is still ongoing.
Yes, the fair is still ongoing.
At the conference center and at the Independence Square.
Yes,
right?
yes.
All right.
I am really surprised at my brother, especially listening to him, and he giving only one instance to say that is the only thing the person did, and he was arrested, and 47 people were arrested because one person just took a key. Let me read something small from the police. They said the demonstrators who had unlawfully assembled at 37 intersection were seen attacking police officers performing their lawful duties, entering a police vehicle to remove the ignition key and throwing it away, pushing down police crash barriers, distraction traffic, causing unlawful damage, and disturbing the public peace. These are the reasons they were arrested. The 40-something people, including Vomao. But you want to zero it down to Vomao because this you are assigned, who is moving around doing everything possible to make sure that the NDC wins elections so that he can go back to Jubilee House as a presidential staffer. He's becoming a nuisance to this country. He's somebody who is supposed to be a lawyer. A lawyer acting unlawfully like that, damaging Dr. Bawumia's posters. And you are thinking that he only went and took ignition key, and that is why will he take police ignition key? Your car, if someone comes to take your ignition key, what will happen? You will say, Krofo, your car is parked. Then someone enters the car and takes the ignition key. What will you say? You tell him, you will say, Krofo, this is police car. It is shameful for a lawyer of his caliber to even do this. There is no one is telling you that don't demonstrate. We have had a lot of demonstrations in this country, peaceful ones. So you are demonstrating. You have the right to demonstrate. But why will you put on barriers, obstruct traffic? I was also coming. I was just driving along the place. Then I saw that there were barriers there. A lot of people making noise. So I had to make a detour. So why will you do this? The police is giving you protection. They said you assembled unlawfully. You are not supposed to even assemble there. You did that. Ghana has rules and regulations. You can go ahead to do your demonstration wherever you will want to do it, and you get the protection. They did fix the country. What happened? They were given the protection and they did it peacefully.
Well, we fixed the country. There was also chaos. There were people who were arrested.
So that's the reason I'm telling you that the gentleman is becoming a nuisance in this country.
If they have every right, to demonstrate,
yes,
and they just have to notify the police. And in this particular instance, they gave the police about 5 months clear notice.
The police went to court, and the court said that you cannot assemble at that place. The police went to court.
Do they not have the right to demonstrate?
The police went to court and said you cannot assemble at that place. You can assemble anywhere. Tell us where you want to assemble. But that place, you cannot assemble there because they feel that place is a security zone. So that is the reason. You have the right to do all your demonstrations, but there are places that you are not supposed to go. Even today, not demonstration. There are places that you cannot enter. You remember one of your colleagues from City TV, right? He went and entered somewhere and started taking videos. And he was arrested because these are places you don't go there to take videos or pictures. You have to get authorization before you do that. You understand? So what I'm saying is that what they are calling for, you can still demonstrate. We are all concerned about this galamsey menace. Is a reason Dr. Bawumia on page 195 of his manifesto said that we started the fight in 2017 when we came. If it was not out of hand, if it was not really a chaos situation in 2016, why will the media, you yourself, you were part of those who were calling on the government to act on the galamsey because they are destroying our waters? This was 2017. The moment President Akufo-Addo was elected, the media led the charge to say that the galamsey is destroying our water bodies. So as if galamsey started only 7 years ago. When we came, that was the situation in this country.
Yeah, and what have you done about it? What have you done about it?
We banned it for 2 years.
Because there is nothing to show for all of that.
There are a lot to show.
There is nothing
there are
to
a lot
show.
to show.
What is there to show?
There are a lot to show.
For what was done?
I'm coming.
What is there
I'm coming.
to show?
I'm coming.
Because the state in which it was when you put the ban and everything on it, it's worse now than it was then. So then what is there to show?
The distraction didn't start from yesterday. The distraction started around that time. We banned it for 2 years. After the 2-year ban, they came in 2019. We took the pain, took taxpayers' money to go and train these small-scale miners in UMAT. We trained 4,000 of them with the taxpayers' money. After that training, we brought them back. We gave them their licenses to operate in 2019. Later part of 2019-2020, Kwaku Boahin, Deputy National Communications Director of the NDC, and former Minerals Commission Chairperson, Dr. Tony Eben, went to them and told them, do illegal galamsey and vote for NDC. When we come, we even give you more concessions to do.
So that's why galamsey is rampant now, because of Kwaku Boahin and Tony Obi.
In this country.
So
when you turn anything
you are telling us
I'm coming.
That
I'm
because of
telling you how.
Kwaku Boahin and Dr. Tony Obi.
Yes.
That is why galamsey is the way it is now.
I didn't say that.
But you're saying they
whilst we were fighting, they were also fighting us.
So with all
the
that,
NDC is fighting us while we were fighting it. And that is the case.
So that's why you can't win the fight.
That's
why you can't stop galamsey.
We have not said that. Mahama said he could not win the fight because he went and said Chebi is the headquarters of galamsey and so on. He said he couldn't win the fight. At a point in time in Ashanti region when Enokunsia, the regional security liaison officer of Ashanti region, was removed from office because he antagonized GHOne in 2016. Yamin was moved from Ashanti regional deputy minister to Nagmo because they were antagonizing GHOne. We didn't even know that GHOne wasn't even a Ghanaian until we arrested her in 2017.
And what happened when you arrested her in 2017?
She's now in jail.
Well, when you arrested her, your senior minister told us that there was no need prosecuting her.
Because you see,
before she re-entered the country, because of the uproar, then you had no choice than to prosecute her.
You see, the question to you, right from 2016, I'm coming. You have asked me a question.
In all of this,
you have asked me a question.
Let me there,
Lantam, if you allow me, I'm saying that we started that fight, which is a hydra-headed fight. It is not a fight that you say you go and just clamp and that is it. Even in South Africa today, there is galamsey there. Even in Australia, there is illegal mining there. Even in Australia, there are people who are doing illegal mining.
Why should we care that there's illegal mining in Australia and South Africa? Why should we care? We care about our situation. There's illegal mining in Australia and South Africa. So what? We should think about our situation. Why are we comparing?
You're not waiting for me to finish my submission.
Why should we
jump
care?
In the middle and you will not get the
So tell me, why should we care that South Africa and Australia have illegal mining? Why should we care?
What we can do is to fight it and get a solution to it.
That's the reason 8 years to do that, or 7 years to do that.
We did 2 years of ban.
Yeah.
After 2 years
and
of ban,
we
started galamsey.
I keep on asking
we saw that
the result
ban.
of it.
We saw that the ban was not the ultimate solution, because after the ban they came back, and as we were fighting, the NDC were fighting us. That is one. Two is that we started a galam stop 1 and 2. After that also didn't really materialize very well. We move ahead to do the Operation Halt when we're burning excavators in this country. You were in this country when we're burning excavators, chasing them, sending people to jail. Former President Mahama has to come back to say in 2020 that he will make them come back, those who have been jailed. That is what he said. Even when you met the media, he told you that those who were jailed by a competent court of jurisdiction, he will give them amnesty to come back and further destroy our waters. Dr. Baumia is saying that, looking at what we have done from 2017 up to today, the ultimate solution is that if you go to Bonfa, where they are doing illegal mining, you go there, we will not allow any prospecting again. Prospecting license will not be given. We'll ban prospecting license. We'll give the geological survey the opportunity to do all the prospecting. After that, we will give the mines, we will give the concession to the community for them to own it. This is what, let me just end. For them to own it. After owning it, then we give them gold catches. We establish the Minerals Development Bank. We give them gold catches. So tomorrow, if you go and someone has destroyed the water in Bofa, you know that you can arrest the chief or those who are in front of the thing. So now the best solution is not to fight them, not to use police and so on, but go there, give the mines to them, give them implements, and they will stop using the chamfine, so that they will not even enter water and be washing the gold over there. This is the solution by Dr. Bawumia. At this point in time, I don't think we need to start complaining about what is happening. We want to get a clear path of how we can get a solution. And Dr. Bawumia has the clear path, because of what we have learned over the last 7 years.
So in all of this, Dr. Bawumia has been vice president.
Yes.
The right-hand man of President Akufo-Addo.
Yes.
For the last 7 years, where the galamsey fire, all the things that he talked about having been done, we have nothing to show for it. Or do we have something to show for it?
We have a lot to show, because
and
as
Dr. Bawumia,
right now,
as vice president under President Akufo-Addo, was not able to even start doing these ideas, and he's now saying that this is the solution to it, and so when you vote for him, he becomes president, he now implement
I'm sorry to say this myopic, because you see, he has been the vice president with the president. I'm saying,
how is that myopic?
So let me come.
Yeah, explain to me.
He has been the vice president. The first thing he and his boss started was to ban. It didn't work out.
You see,
I'm coming.
You always
he didn't do it in
and I keep on telling you, and I'm passionate about this.
So you have asked the
excuse
question,
me.
I'm giving you the answer.
The point is,
what answer do you need from me then?
I'm asking you, what is there to show for all the things that you are saying
that
now?
That is not the question you asked me. You asked me that he has been vice president. I'm telling you what he has done, and you are now jumping to say that you don't want to hear that answer. Lantam,
what has he done? What has he done?
So I'm saying that.
What has he done?
He is with his boss. You and your producers have been doing something over time. Right? It gets to a time the chief producer says that when I come out, chart this, looking at what we have done over the years, I will want to chart this path. And you are saying that he should have charted that path when you started working. Is that the case? He started with his boss. They did the ban. It didn't work out. They did the Galam Stop 1 and 2. It didn't work out. They did Operation Halt by burning excavators. It didn't work out. Now he's telling you that from what I have learned from my boss, what we have been doing with my boss for the last 7 years, I believe that those who even go there to destroy the waters are a lot of the aliens and not people from there. So the chief had no option than to sell the land, because people will get the license from Accra and still come and destroy our water. Why not I sell the land? Now he's saying that I will give the concession to the chief there, the opinion leaders. We set up the community mining for them. So if you go there and they are doing community mining and the water is being destroyed, who do you hold responsible? The people there. So this is what he's saying. He didn't just jump in to say that, well, this is what I will do differently from Akufo-Addo. He said, from what we have learned, when you read from our manifesto, he said, what we have learned from the last 7 years, I believe that when we give them the opportunity to own the place and give them better implement and bunch and fine.
So we can't start doing that now. We have to wait till
there is
Dr.
an
Bawumia
interministerial committee. There is an interministerial committee that is working on it, which is chaired by the National Security Minister.
Okay.
So they have also devised some strategy and they are working on it. They will come out and speak to the media. They have already spoken to the labor unions on what they will do, their resolve in the next 3 months, because we are in election year. And in the next 3 months, the only thing is that these are people who can do this. Next government will take over in 2017, in 2025, which is Dr. Bawumia. And Dr. Bawumia will set up his own ministries and everything, and all the setup will come, so that he will implement what he has written there.
How can people trust that Dr. Bawumia will do what he says he will do?
Yeah, they will trust
when he has been part of the administration, which you have alluded to, has failed.
No, I didn't say it has failed.
So there's no there's no
failure.
So there's no failure in the galamsey fight.
In 2015,
So you are saying that there is no failure of the Akufo-Addo government in the galamsey fight. There's no failure. That's what you're saying.
There is no single government in the history of this country that has fought galamsey than Akufo-Addo.
So
from day one that he joined, he has been fighting.
So he has been successful.
But you see,
fighting it
today, how many times have you heard that people are trapped in a galamsey pit? How many times?
So what is the state of our water bodies? What's the state of our lands? What's the state of reclamation? What is the state of the chemicals that are being put in?
The reclamation.
So I will be happy. Let's look at the state of our water bodies. Let's look at the state of our lands. Let's look at what is happening to, babies, mothers and babies who are being deformed and all of that. And let us judge whether or not the Akufo-Addo government has succeeded in the fight against galamsey or not. And you are saying that they have not failed. They have done well. Okay, that's fine.
We started from somewhere. We have gotten to somewhere. This is our commitment. Our commitment is from 2017. We've been fighting it.
Okay.
And we have not rested in fighting it.
Okay.
Now we have seen a better solution.
Okay.
The opponent is telling you, the one who will take over if we're not able to win the elections, is telling you that when I come back, those who were jailed by a competent court of jurisdiction for galamsey, we will bring them back and give them amnesty to go and further destroy our waters. You think you trust that person than the person who is saying that this is a new path because we started the fight from 2017 and I fought it till today.
Okay.
Whether you call it a success or a failure, it's up to you. But he has fought it up to today.
Well, I think the jury is out there with regard to where we are with galamsey. Adel, let me come back to you on this in the next three minutes before we move on.
Lantam, when I indicate to you that our half brothers, lack wisdom in the exercise of their discretion, people probably think that I'm being too harsh, but basically they lack wisdom. It's just the answer to it. He says,
how so?
I'll tell you.
Points are being made, and he's backing his points.
Don't worry.
With events that have happened.
Don't worry, I'll break it down for you. So, Kweku Buahin, John Dramani Mahama, and all those people that he's making reference to, they are in charge of the police and military. They are in charge of customs. Uselessness is when you come to realize that you cannot undertake a fight simply because an opposition leader is sitting somewhere and you believe that he's encouraging people on.
But is that not the case?
I'm bringing.
Because if officials of your party, in the name of politics, are saying that we allow you to mine, and we'll give amnesty to people who have been arrested because of galamsey and all of that, and this is a potential government. Is that not an encouragement of people to continue to dabble in the galamsey? And that doesn't help, because if you're in opposition, you should also be concerned about the galamsey fight. And so you don't say and do things which will be detrimental to the already precarious situation that we have.
Okay. So let's say the entirety of NDC, service, we don't have any wisdom. Let's say, okay? Let's say we're all service, not wise. We want to kill the people of Ghana, and we want to misbehave, and we want galamsey to continue. Let's say, okay, Lantam. Nana Akufo-Addo, His Excellency, and the Vice President have been given the mandate to protect us and protect them. In fact, they have been given the mandate to protect NDC members, MPP members, whichever person belongs into this country. So the president gets up one morning and says that he has gotten news that John Mahama, for example, is sending people to kill people in some villages. But because he's an opposition leader, there's nothing we can do about it. That is uselessness. That's what I'm telling you.
You like insults?
No, uselessness is not. Useless is not an insult.
Okay.
Useless
so
is
when
closer.
I say you are useless man, I have not insulted.
I'll read it. I'll read what uselessness is for you. And you are comfortable to use the word incompetent. But incompetent, you see, Awal is always in a hurry. That's his problem. When I read the meaning of incompetent to you, and I read the meaning of uselessness for you, you would realize that there are no differences. But it hurts them when we say they are useless. But they are useless. I am telling you that if you can sit down comfortably and say that because John Mahama and Kweku Buahin are somewhere doing something, and for that matter, your hands have been tied behind your back.
Do we say that?
But when John Mahama was telling you and telling the people of Ghana, don't put our money in the National Cathedral, he didn't tie your hands behind your back. When they have the opportunity to steal, when they can make money, they don't care. They would go hell out to do whatever. But you're telling me here again that unlawfully attacking police, taking car key, disturbing public peace, pushing a barricade, is worse than murdering 30 million people. That's what you're telling me. That's what you're telling me. You're justifying here as a Muslim today, Awal.
John, this analysis.
No. Listen, when you're speaking, I'm sitting here out of respect, attach wisdom to it. I am telling you that Awal is telling you point blank today that it is okay for BIM to be wasted, pra to be wasted, everything to be wasted because there's John Mahama and and Kweku Buahin going somewhere and talking. You've been given the mandate. Why? Did you not arrest Opuni? Is he not in court? I'm asking you. Is Opuni not in court? Oh, you could do that because it benefits you. Because for you think that, when you're doing that, you're fighting corruption. So you're so Opuni, where is Opuni? Catch him. Where is Vomawo? Catch him. But you're okay with Chairman Aluta and Bonfa destroying water. You're okay with that. Awal is telling you this morning that the only way Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia can fight galamsey is that he has to write it in something called a manifesto. and to collect the project from the people, from whoever is mining, and give it to the people who are actually in the place to have charge of it. Awal is a witness to me and him on Thursday last week on Kesben TV, and I raised this one issue. He was sitting there. Speaker said that the person who is in charge in Bonfa and destroying the water over there, his name is Chairman Aluta, and Chairman Aluta is the MPP driving chairman of the MPP, and he has brought in 10 Chinese people who are working. I'm begging you, Chairman Aluta, is he Chinese? Chairman Aluta, he's Chinese. So you're collecting it from the Chinese, and you're giving it to who? The same people you're talking about are the ones who are bringing the Chinese to work. So, okay, let's say no problem. You sack the Chinese, and then you give it to Chairman Aluta. Then he goes to bring a Bulgarian this time. John Mahama is showing you wisdom. You're still refusing to listen. That's why I said in the exercise of their discretion, they don't listen to wise counsel. And I'll tell you why. I'll give you a typical example. Say you go to Bonfa. I'll land here. Say you go to Bonfa. Listen to their wisdom. Or you go to Bonfa. And then you go and catch all these small boys. And then you throw them in jail. Chairman Aluta is sitting there. The 10 Chinese men he brought, they have moved their machines somewhere. They've gone to park. They are waiting small to see how things will settle down. Aluta is still walking around. The Chinese is still walking around. Do you know what you have done? You have gone into the neighborhood. You have selected young people who are trying to survive, and perhaps they don't have anything to do, and someone sitting somewhere is paying them some dividends. You have arrested them and placed them in there. But Chairman Aluta and the Chinese will find in another set of 20 boys and bring them back there. Do you know why? Because they have the money to buy the excavator and they have the machines belong to them. John Mahama is telling you that is uselessness. John Mahama is telling you that arrest the people. You solve problem. When you want to solve problems, you solve it from the root. So arrest Chairman Wuntumi. Arrest Chairman Aluta. I mean, you are aware of Aluta. At least by now, I'm supposed to hear Awal Mohammed shouting about arresting of Chairman Aluta because he was there. We were all sitting on set, but he's defending it. Arrest Chairman Aluta. When you do that, his Chinese is out. The excavators have been seized. No one else is going to go and get these boys doing something else. In my last Lantam, we went to school together. How do you calculate work done? If I sit here and I carry this table and I'm pushing, I want to move it. They say, move it from here to here. You push. Awal is standing here, he's sweating, he's pushing. The table doesn't move. That's work done. That's in your wisdom. That's work done. So you do galam stop. Then you say, we banned for 2 years. And then we trained 4,000 people in community mining. And then when we did that, we gave them back their licenses. And we said, go into the water. So we gave licenses to about almost 150 people to go back into the forest and mine. And then when you are doing all that, your intended achievement is to make sure that our water is clean. So you did all of that. The water has now moved to 14,000 turbidity. That is wisdom.
Okay, oh, well, let me come back to you for your final submission
Lantam,
on this.
Interestingly, this is the difference between NPP and NDC. NDC will always pay lip service, talk our problems. They don't have a single solution because they don't have track record. Their track record, how do you pay lip service?
But do you expect
I'm coming. When you was talking, you didn't interrupt me like this.
Do you expect
don't
the
do that.
NDC to
Lantam, don't do that. When he was talking, you didn't interrupt him like this.
When you are
Let me also land so that you can ask me a question. You asked me the first question. You said I should wrap up. And I'm wrapping up. Now I started, and you are telling me you have started interrupting me. Let me finish. I'm saying that the difference between NPP and NDC is that we have owned up and say that we are fighting it, and we have told you our track record, which you are a witness to it, by the ban, the Galam stop, Operation Halt, and so on. We are telling you moving forward, this is what we'll be able to do. The NDC, because they lack track record, because they started the galamsey thing in 2011, 2012, 2013, where they brought in a lot of Chinese in this country, to the extent that at that time, when a Chinese would want to come
NDC
to Ghana,
started galamsey.
Yes, they started this bringing
galamsey.
in. I'm saying that they started bringing in Chinese people into this country
to come and do galamsey.
Exactly, because to the extent that
really?
In 2013, 2014, every Chinese who will want to come to Ghana don't even need to take visa from China. It is visa on arrival. You get to Kotoka and you get visa. We came and banned that in 2017. And we had to move a lot of them out of the country. Deport all of them. A lot of them. We deported a lot of them, including GHOne. She slipped back and we had to jail her here. This is our track record. And I'm telling you that this is what we'll be able to do moving forward. I said earlier that we will not dwell. We will not join the NDC to complain because we are fighting it. We'll only tell you a clear path. The NDC do not have any path. What they know is that they know that they don't have that track record. So when they come, they will bring back. Is this a policy? Compared to Dr. Bawumia building a minerals development bank, getting gold catchers, banning chamfine, banning prospecting and so on in all areas by giving the Geological Survey the opportunity to do that. And they are saying that they will come and give amnesty to people who have been jailed for galamsey. They will give concessions back. You will want to give our bauxite back to Ibrahim Mahama when Ibrahim had to go to court and even lose.
Oh, but we also heard your vice president saying you give excavators back and all of that.
Yes, we said that we'll
give excavators back.
We'll do it through, but excavators, we'll do it through the Minerals Development Bank by giving them excavators on credit so that they will be able to. But you can't do mining without excavator. You can't just do mining without. When we say gold catchers, so I'm saying that is what after they dig, instead of go to wash it in the water, they can use gold catchers to get the gold easily. So the excavators, definitely the Minerals Development Bank will give the excavators to them.
Okay.
So this is something that we're doing. We are showing the way forward by documenting whatever we'll be able to do. Fortunately, Dr. Bawumia will not be a one-time president because he has 8 clear years. If you vote for him, you will hold him to it because he will still come back to you to seek for your mandate, to go for his 8 years. So definitely he will be able to walk the talk.
So should we care that the NDC, you said the NDC doesn't have a solution and they are not preferring solutions and all of that. Should the NDC be the ones now giving your government that is supposed to be at the helm of affairs and fighting? Should the NDC be the ones giving you the solution?
No, we don't need the solution because they don't have the
why should we care about whether or not the NDC has a track record and a solution?
We are here,
when we have a problem on our hands that needs to be dealt with. Why should we care about that?
So what I expect you to do,
you also point fingers at people within the NDC who are doing things that are bad, which I totally condemn, and I put that to Adele, if you'd know. But there are also people within your own government who are also being accused, and there is evidence to show that they are also involved in illegal mining.
Yes.
What about that? What have you done about that? From Akonta mining to the Chairman Aluta to and all of that.
His license in 2013.
Yeah, but what did the Minerals Commission and all of those people say about Akonta mining?
Small-scale miner.
So what did
he got that? So
what did the Minerals Commission?
What did the Minerals Commission got that license in 2013 under Mahama to be a large-scale
why
miner?
would the Minerals Commission and the Forestry Commission and all of those people come and talk about Akonta mining not having to go into the forest reserve as they were? And there was evidence, which was that I think a multimedia journalist, Erastus, got us that evidence about Akonta mining doing what they were doing there.
It's not Erastus. It is Abu Jinapo, who came out with a press release. There was no journalist there. He came out with a press release and said that Akonta mining had veered off from where they are into the Nimiri forest.
Exactly.
So they should cease fire.
Exactly.
It tells you the commitment by the government.
And the journalist went there to verify.
I'm saying that he called his own chairman to order. It tells you the commitment by the government. He says that no journalist went there. He said that Akonta mining is mining around that place,
which they are not supposed to.
No, there is a place that they are supposed to mine. They have veered off into the Nimiri forest,
which you were not supposed
to.
So
they should be clamped down.
So what was the repercussion of that? What was the consequence?
But you see, it tells
nothing happened to Chairman Untumi and Akonta mining.
Nothing. They were prevented from mining.
Nothing happened to them.
They were prevented from mining in the forest.
But they've contributed to the problem we have, and nothing happened to them.
He said the information is that they have entered the forest. He is going there better than someone who will say that I'm coming back to give concession back. I'm coming to bring people back to come and destroy your water. What you are asking me is that today we are here to debate as NDC MPP. We are here to debate about the solutions to the problems we are having in this country. And I'm telling you that these are our policies. What I expect you from him, what I expect from you is that you ask him, what is the alternative policy to our policy? Because Ghanaians will decide who leads this country in the next 3 months. And they will decide on who has alternative or better policies than the one who comes to complain and insult.
All right. Very well. Thank you very much. Let's move on. Let's move on to our next issue very quickly. Because we don't have too much time. So let's move on to our next issue, which has got to do with concerns that the NDC has, with regard to the voters register. I began with Adele, so this one, while I'll begin with you on this. And you, the MPP, through your General Secretary, have been saying the EC should not heed to the demands of the NDC. The NDC, through Dr. Manibuama, I think yesterday, is now saying that, if the EC has nothing to hide, why don't they avail the register to a forensic audit, right? If I may quote, he said, Dr. Manibuama says the Electoral Commission is afraid of releasing the final voters register because the Commission is scared of what more discrepancies that the party will expose from the register. And according to him, the EC's failure to make the register available is troubling and raises questions about the transparency of the electoral process ahead of the upcoming elections. Of course, he was speaking to civil society organizations and other stakeholders, and they were talking about the need for this forensic audit. Why does the NPP seem to be averse to this forensic audit? Will it kill anybody? Will it hurt us?
I'm sure
if it's done.
You had reporters at the headquarters when the General Secretary was speaking.
Yes.
He spoke and said, if there was an if clause,
yes,
that if the NDC is not able to provide any evidence,
yes,
then we will not also accept anything.
Yes.
That's it. You see, we're in a country where evidence is the name of the game. When you allege, he who alleges must prove. You are alleging that you have over 200,000 people who were illegally transferred. You're not saying that they are not supposed to be on the register. You said they were illegally transferred.
Yeah.
You said you have 50,000 people in the register who are dead people, but they are still in the register. You mentioned a lot of things. When you were even going to the EC, you requested for media coverage of your meeting with the EC. I was thinking, honestly, when they said that, I was like, why will the EC even prevent them from really having the media to even cover? You understand? Because they are going with evidence. When they went there bare hands, with their bare hands, without presenting anything. The EC, in their response, when you read, they said they are not against forensic audit. It's in the response. But on what on which documents? What are you telling? You are saying that this thing is, the register is not credible because of 1, 2, 3, 4. Prove to me. We're waiting for you. Submit the document for us to see. You remember in 2016, when we said we needed a new register because we felt that it's an ECOWAS register. You remember when we
Dr. Baumia did some presentations.
Dr. Baumia came to Alisa Hotel, invited the media. He submitted everything, the 76,000 people with the register to the EC. After that, he came to Alisa Hotel, point to faces, pictures, names that are closer, that were together.
Yeah, but VCRA Crab, had, didn't agree that there should be
the reason was that at that time, they said, according to Charlotte said, they wrote to the Togo for them to release their register for us to do the comparison, because they cannot take the one that we submitted as whole, the credible register for Togo. And according to her, Togo said that it's a national security document they cannot release. We got it through a party affiliate. We are part of IDU. So we got it with our affiliated political party over there. And it was even confirmed by a deputy EC chair from Togo, who spoke to Joy FM and said that what we have is a real document, but we didn't get it through the official channels.
Right.
So that was the reason VCRA Crab is saying that if you don't have a document that is an official document, we cannot say that this person or that person should be removed. Again, when we spoke about people who used health insurance to do it, and they should be removed, they said no, we had to go to court. Abu Ramadan went to court with Evans and Amanko. They went to court, won, and some people were removed. That is what you do as an opposition party. When you allege something, prove with documentations. When you're able to prove with documentation, why not? We will be happy. We will be happy to see NDC proving these things,
Yeah.
so that that audit is done.
Yeah, so I think you have a point there, but will it hurt if the EC just opens it up for the purposes of having an image of presenting us with a credible register going into the elections? Would it hurt if the EC just opens it up? Let's do one, because there are people, Professor Jampo, Kobe Mensah, there are people, all of these, other people who are, it's interesting, that are calling that, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the EC, opening it up. It won't hurt. Will it hurt us?
So
what will happen? Will it hurt if the EC just opens it up, does the forensic audit? If there are issues, hallelujah, we deal with it. If there are no issues, hallelujah, we have a credible register. Either way, it's a win-win. So, I mean, why will it hurt? Why the resistance?
When you read the Constitution of Ghana,
yes,
the EC is not under the direction of anyone.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be under the direction of anyone.
That is true.
That is one. Two is that if today NDC says do forensic audit without any basis, they do it. Tomorrow, you as a citizen of Ghana can also do that, because you're also a stakeholder.
But isn't credence lent to some of these calls that are being made?
Yes.
Even if the NDC is not providing any further evidence that indeed it is true. In Pusiga, there were some transfers that were done illegally. The EC has taken steps to deal with that. They've suspended the IEC director there, and and all of that, right? But that alone has the potential to create some doubts in the minds of people, the electorate, that if this has happened and the EC has admitted to it, what more is there that we don't know about? So is it good for us to go into an election with people having doubts about the credibility of a register, whether or not the NDC has provided evidence? So that's why I come back to say, will it hurt if the EC just opens it up? Hey, let's do the forensic audit. Let's prove the doubters wrong. Let's move on and go into the elections.
Before you say a document is not credible, you will have to get a certified copy to say it's not credible.
Yes, and the EC has not provided that.
Yes, because
to the parties.
They just finished doing the auditing, which is the process that they went through where anomalies were found. This is something they do in any elections, and it's embedded in the CI that they are using. That in any election, do exhibition. In the exhibition, if Lantam has his name in Asawasi constituency, when he doesn't vote in Asawasi constituency, he will have to report so that it is done. It is corrected. When Lantam's name is spelled LAM instead of LAM, you can still go there and it's corrected. When you want to move your vote from somewhere to another place, for instance, I took my wife from, she used to vote in Winneba. I sent her to Asawasi to register over there. You understand?
Yeah.
So we went through the process. I was really surprised when I heard that 38 people were really illegally transferred. Yeah. Even though there was no mention anywhere that those who were transferred were MPP, or the person who did the transfer was MPP.
Yeah.
Someone went to them, told them that he would want to process loan for them according to them. He would want to process a loan for them. They should give their voter ID cards. They ended up moving to that constituency where they didn't know who they will vote for, and so on. So you see, I was alarmed because when I went through that process with my wife, it was rigorous. She went through and even had new voter ID card. So we're saying that the EC can still come out with the final register. After coming out with the final register, the issues you have raised, you understand, are they still in the register? Then you call for a forensic audit. Because if today there is a credible register, the one that they give you was just a temporary register. They said, look through. If there are issues, bring out the issues so that we correct them before we give you the credible and endorsed register that we use for the elections. The moment this is out, you look at it and say, these are infractions you didn't do. So we're calling for forensic audit. Who will be the very people to even lead that?
Okay.
Because it's very important. You don't identify the voter by just the person, his geographical location. I voted as Asawasi constituency. NDC has been winning that seat. But at least we have a vote there. The last elections, we had 35,000 votes for Akufo-Addo alone, which is bigger than even about 20 constituencies even within Ashanti region. But we lost the seat. So you don't identify the voter because he's in voter region, we had 100,000 votes. the last elections. So because the person is a voter. So if really they are able to provide the register, and when you check the register, things that you have flagged, they were not able to really correct them, who will lead the charge? We'll do it alongside the NDC to go and have a forensic audit so that at least these anomalies are removed, so that Ghanaians will have a credible register.
All right, Adel, coming to you now. I mean, you, the NDC, have a problem, and the EC has consistently said, bring whatever evidence it is that you have. The issues that are with the register so far, we've dealt with them. If you have any further evidence, bring it. And we are not seeing it.
And the NDC hasn't provided any evidence, and the NDC inconsistency is a problem. You know, Lantam, when you're working math and you're supposed to just basically add 200 to 200, if you do 0, and you introduce a figure from outside, you would not get 400, you get 401. That's the problem. He sits here and he says that he was surprised that something happened in Pusiga because his own wife, when he sent her to the place to EC, she had to go through a certain process, and it was a rigorous, he used the word rigorous process to go through it. Yet he says the NDC has not provided any evidence. Doesn't make any sense, because the NDC raised the issue of Pusiga. We raised the issue of Pusiga. Did you raise the issue of Pusiga? No.
Yeah, but there are other things that the NDC talks about,
I'm coming.
The NDC really has not come or gone to the EC.
Don't worry. I'm building my presentation.
Right?
I'm building my presentation.
So apart from Pusiga, what else? Because Pusiga, according to the EC, has been dealt with. So apart from Pusiga, what else?
I would even come to the issue of whether it has been dealt with or not. So he admits openly on national television that his wife had to go through a certain process in order to get a transfer. But then other people were transferred in Pusiga. Let's assume that what we have seen, let's say that we didn't see any other, what we have seen is Pusiga. Imagine if out of the 40,000 police stations that we have, each place you have like 10 being transferred. Imagine. Do you know what it means? Just 10. That's 400,000 votes. That's what it means. Listen, we started by shouting that BVR is missing. BVD is missing. They shouted. EC shouted. They were the first people to shout. Nothing like that has happened. What is actually missing is laptops. Where were the laptops? They said laptops were in their office. You and I know that when you're going to IPAC, before you cross the first gate and enter the second gate and go through the checks that you go through before you enter the Electoral Commission, it will be ridiculous for me or Owl, or maybe Owl can enter, but it will be difficult for me, to walk to the Electoral Commission as we speak today. Lantam, to walk to the Electoral Commission. Go through all the CCTV camera, go through police check, military check, whatever checks, get inside their room, go and open a BVR kit. You know the kit, it doesn't come, you don't just go and see a laptop lying down. When they come to do registration in the centers, you know how it comes. It's in a black case, and it has codes. It has in a black case. So you have to open. Where you open, then there's the camera, there's a laptop, there's blah, blah, blah. Someone was able to get into the Electoral Commission and take 5 of these laptops from 5 separate kits. Certainly, it isn't somebody from outside. It should be somebody from the Electoral Commission. Basic. This is not rocket science. You don't need to stand on top of the storyboard to jump to know. No, it's basic. Because if they say that someone from outside can actually enter and take it, that is even a much more serious indictment on them. Because you have security, you have CCTV camera, you have military, you have police. When they said it's a lie. Then we came with the evidences. Then they said, oh yeah, it is true. 1 BVR. Then later they come and admit, oh, BVD. Lantam, BVR is what is required when we're going to do registration like the limited registration we did. That is what is required to take your fingerprints onto the system, and then we accept you and say, okay, we have taken your fingerprint, you're on the system. Lantam, BVD is what is required on the day of election. So you see, 1 for registration, 1 for a day of election. On the day of election, BVD is what you need to put your fingerprint on for us to verify whether you are the same person that we captured on the BVR earlier when we're doing registration. That is the BVD. Lantam, the laptop is what connects the BVD to the what? To the laptop. That's a connection when you come and do, and then we check on the system and say, oh yeah, that is it. So BVR is missing. BVD is missing. Laptop is missing. After 1 year, when we hit them, then now they say, oh, we have arrested people. They are with the police and the police is investigating. You say we should trust them. I'll be stupid to trust that. I'll be very, very stupid. In fact, none of people will not trust that. That is one. Common calculation. I gave you an example of 200 to 200. We're doing limited registration. Just add 200 to 200. Then they add and there's a problem. You see, when you have a system and you introduce something or you take out something, whether you like it or not, the final answer will not be the same. So they'll continue to make mistakes and we'll continue to come at them. Because we're adding it the way we're supposed to add it. And it doesn't make sense. Because for as long as you introduce a foreign material, you'll be disgraced. So that's what they've been doing. We mentioned that today. So we'll go and correct it. Then we went to correct it. We said Pusiga, they have done it. Okay, you've done Pusiga, right? Our word says that they have sorted the issues out. That time you come to me, you say, Adele, I have a wedding next week. I want you to sew this suit for me. I say, okay, Lantam, I'll sew it for you. I take it, I sew, I give it to Lantam, go and check it. Lantam goes somewhere, say, oh, Adele, when I checked it, the neck was a bit messy. You know, the waist is a bit too high. I would want for you to fix it. Adele says, oh, don't worry, bring it. You bring it. I take it, I fix it. Lantam asks, Adele says, oh, I fixed it. Lantam says, okay, let me try it on and see. You say no. Please. Adele says no. Lantam says, oh, but I need to try it and see. I want to know whether in reality you say you have fixed it, but I want to be certain if you have fixed it. So let me just. Then Adele says, oh, Lantam, don't worry. On the day of your wedding, 30 minutes for you to go on stage. I'll give you your gown, and then you can check it and see if it is okay or not. Knowing very well that 30 minutes to that, if it comes and it's still high waist, it's a problem. This is what they're telling you.
But how about turning it around? How about turning it around and using your own analogy, you know, with the trousers, and let's say the EC is the tailor, and I am now the one who is wearing it, and then the EC says, oh, you say it, so bring it and let me do it for you, and I say no. I'm not bringing it. Then the EC is also say, but if you don't bring it for me to fix it, how will I know that it is too big? Okay. How about that? Don't worry. Because that's what the EC is also saying. That if you are saying there's a problem, tell me what the problem is so that I deal with it. And you're not telling me the problem. But you are basing your argument based on past mistakes I have done on your attire.
Can I come in now? So we visited the Electoral Commission, right? We first did press conferences. We said, Pusiga, 540,000 in terms of the transfers that has been done. We've seen an extra 240 transfers done. We have seen 3,000 people's names deleted from the register. We have seen. Their first response is that it was a lie. Then we went to them. We said, this is it. Then now, after that IPAC meeting, when we asked that 35 questions, they now come back and say that, okay, it is true. The 3,000 names that were deleted, what actually happened was that when we were transferring them, something happened, and then, you know, the details got messed up. We said, 540,000 names that have actually been transferred. So during the transfer for the 2023-2024, we realized that, you know, some extra figures had actually followed through. We asked them 15,000 names that have actually been transferred, and those transferred, we don't know where they are coming from. They said they would have to check from within their system. We went to them, we gave them figures. Yesterday, we met the CSOs, we gave them figures. It was based on that the Electoral Commission now comes out to say that we have fixed the problem. Then we say, give it to us. You're telling me you have fixed it. And I'm telling you that, give it to me to go and try it. I want to see, I want to verify.
The final register.
You understand what I'm saying? Give me the final you say you have fixed it. So we have already crossed that issue of, EC says, we have given you. On what basis do you admit that, yes, some 3,000 names were deleted? On what basis? How do you admit that 3,000, NDC says, you have 3,000 names have been deleted. Then you say you haven't deleted, it's a lie. And then now you come back and say, yes, but there was a problem. There's a reason why it got deleted. Why were you admitting that it was deleted? It doesn't make any sense. Lantam, listen, let me tell you something.
So a forensic audit or nothing else? Because I know you are calling for a forensic audit, a re-exhibition of the register.
Audit, re-exhibition, and then their IT system. Lantam, listen, if Awal Muhammad, tomorrow, when the NDC comes to power, and Adele Umar Ibrahim is made, IT director.
If NDC comes to power.
When NDC? Inshallah. Inshallah. When? When? Inshallah.
If the NDC.
Inshallah.
Or if the MPP.
Inshallah.
The people of Ghana will decide.
No problem. Inshallah. At least I have added inshallah. He didn't. I have added inshallah. If Allah wills. Okay? So now listen to this. What I'm saying is that, Lantam, on a very, very, basic score on this issue about, what do we anticipate and what do we intend to do? Again, I talked to you about why I say that the MPP is, excuse me to say, useless. I sat here with Sewa Meya. We were going to do, they said they want to go to John Dramani Mohammed's office to go and demonstrate. I told her as the Director of Operations for Greater Accra Youth Wing, we've also decided that we are going to the John Mohammed's office to go and weed. Someone asked me about why do you say about when you are reading, do you use fork for reading? We use cutlasses for reading, so we are going to read. Whoever comes, we are reading. They say, oh, but why are you people trying to foment trouble? I say, but why? We have military, we have police, and why wouldn't they call us and put us together and then try to see how we can solve the issue? Why is everybody quiet? Eventually, you know what happened? The police service called him, Abuapapu. They called him to order and told him, don't even try passing there. You're sitting here. You're telling us that all of them, the MPP is saying the NDC wants to create problems. The NDC wants to foment trouble. Lantam, who is it that wants to go and steal? And then I'll announce to you, I want to come to your house and come and steal. Then I'll announce to you that on this day, on this time, at this hour, I'll be entering your house to come and steal, and I'll be coming with a knife. Who does that? That's ridiculous. We're telling you that solve a problem before it gets there. And that is why I keep using the word wisdom. Right. Solve a problem before it gets there. Imagine what would happen on the day of elections, final day. Okay. We have gotten to the grounds and we're going to vote. And 3,000 people here, 4,000 people here, 15,000 people here. That is chaos. You will not even have what it takes to protect. Because how many police officers do you have? I just want to describe something to you.
So we have to wrap up now.
Yes. Describing.
We've run out of time, so we have to wrap up now.
Just one.
Thank you very much.
Lantam.
Adele.
Just a second.
For joining us. Thank you very much.
The word useless. Lantam, I beg you for the sake of Allah. The word useless.
15 seconds.
Not fulfilling or not expected to achieve. No problem. I am. Thank you. Okay, so not fulfilling or not expected to achieve the intended purpose or desired outcome. Okay. This is what they are. They are useless.
All right, very well. That's fine.
So when someone tells you are a useless person, that's
Adel Umar is a member of the NDC's communications team. Awal Mohammed is a member of the MPP's communications team. He also speaks for the YEA. He's the PRO for the Youth Employment Agency. Thank you very much, Awal, for coming. Thank you very much, Adel.
Number one.
Number one.
Coming. All our parliamentary candidates are
the one that you exchanged with Akpalu.
Which exchange?
Allegedly.
But
allegedly
came out.
Yeah.
There was no swap. There was no swap.
It's true.
So why
I said allegedly.
Why will you ingest?
Allegedly.
We are using our age to stop their
So it's number one for every parliamentary candidate. Number one for the presidential candidate.
And then number 8.
You don't know the parliamentary candidates.
It would have been nice if you had 8.
We are using.
So that you say you are breaking the 8.
We are using our 8.
Okay.
We are using our 8.
We need to go. We need to stop
their 8.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Number one for every parliamentary candidate.
Stay tuned. Back to the show. You're still watching GH Today here on GHOne Television. And we have a conversation with GCB Bank. There is a personal loan promotion. If you've not heard about it, today you need to listen with rapt attention because it could potentially change your life. It could potentially change your life. So you need to listen and watch with rapt attention because GCB Bank has rolled out a personal loan promotion, which is running from the 12th of August 2024 to the 31st of January 2025. We'll get into the details of what this personal loan promotion is all about. My guests in the studio to talk about this is the executive head of retail banking at GCB Bank, Sina Kamagate. Good morning.
Good morning
and welcome.
Thank you.
Good to see you, and it's great to have you here in the studio.
Yeah, good to see you, and great to finally see you one-on-one and seated just opposite you to have a conversation.
I'm the one who is honored to have you here in the studio.
Well,
also in the studio is Belinda Ofori-Jampo. She's the head of products and promotions. Belinda, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
We're happy to have you here in the studio.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here too.
Yes. So why is GCB Bank rolling out this campaign, this personal loan promotion, right? In fact, first of all, tell us, what is the personal loan promotion? And then tell us why you are rolling it out.
Okay, so let me say good morning to your viewers and to tell them that we are here because we feel that GCB as a bank, having been around for 71 years, and so technically if we were a natural person, by now it would be 11 years into our retirement. We've been around 7 Ghanaians and we've been offering personal loans, and these personal loans are loans that we give to individual salaried workers. Individual salaried workers. And so if you work with any organization and you receive salary at the end of the month, those are the cohort of customers we are running this promo for. What is it for? We are saying that for the 71 years we've been around, and last year we celebrated that, we want to give something back to our customers and those who are thinking of banking with GCB. And what are we giving them? We are giving them a promo, which promo is saying that we are going to give you up to 700,000 Ghana cedis. You have the option of taking this over a period of 5 years maximum, and so you have the choice to choose whether you do 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, but we are giving you up to 5 years at a fixed interest rate of 22%. And the juice in it is that we deliver within 24 hours after you have completed the entire process and then signed off on your form. In 24 hours, we deliver that to our customers. And we are saying that there is a lot of heat. And we did this in anticipation of September up to December hassles. I mean, those hassles have been with us. In September, when schools reopen, we all need to go and pay for fees and all that. And then just after you have paid for fees, you are thinking how you are going to celebrate your Xmas. And so that also comes to mind, and all the things that would happen in between. And so we are saying that our customers and prospective customers should skip the stress and come for the cash from GCB. So this is all the promotion is about. Skip the stress.
Skip the stress.
Come for the cash.
So what's unique about this personal loan?
Great, thank you very much, and good morning to your viewers. All right, so as Sina said, with the interest rates, aside we're giving you the 700,000 Ghana cedis, up to that, we are also offering a reduced interest rate of 22% on reducing balance method. In terms of the calculation of the interest, it is done on reducing balance method. So in effect, if you take it for, let's say, a period of 4 years, by the time you are done, you are paying 13.1%. Effectively, it is 13.1% because of the method we use in calculating the interest rates. Also, we are giving it to you over a maximum period of 5 years, which is 60 months. So you can take it over various periods up to 5 years. One other key benefit also is that we have reduced the upfront fees. So the processing facility fee has been reduced drastically. We are also offering you credit life insurance, which is against retrenchment, against critical ailment, it's against death as well. So if you take the facility, it is assured that in the event of the unforeseen, your family would be assured that the loan outstanding loan amount is not going to be taken from them, but then the insurance is going to take care of that. Also, we are saying that when you take the facility and the repayment travels over a 25%, so let's say if you take it for 4 years and it travels for 1 year, you can come for a top-up. So there's no fees in terms of early settlement fee, no fees. You can have it like that. So these are some of the things that, in addition to the loan repayment holiday. So if you take it for this month, you're not going to pay anything. You're not paying principal, you're not paying interest. You pay at the end of the following month. Yes.
I mean, so this makes it quite unique. So, I mean, what is the specific criteria for people who want to participate, in this, and how can salaried workers apply for this GCB personal loan?
Great. So it is for salary account holders. So even if you don't have your salary account with GCB, your salary can come in for the first month and then you can qualify. And then also, we are, as much as we are giving out these loans, we are also very particular about our customers' deposits. So we want to make sure that they are safe and then secure with us. So we want to also make sure that you have a very good credit history and a very good credit score to be able to qualify. So just be interested, be a salary account holder, and then have a good credit score. You should qualify for the facility.
So any salaried worker, once you have a good credit score.
Good credit score, yes.
What does that mean? Good credit score. What does that mean?
Okay, so in Ghana we have a credit referencing regime. And that is to say that if you have ever taken a loan anywhere, you will be on that database. So if you apply, we'll run credit checks on you. If the return is positive, it means that you don't have a good credit score. It means you have a bad credit score, and obviously you don't qualify for the facility.
If you didn't pay the loan.
If you have ever defaulted, and believe me, it could be your first loan you took when you were employed. If you had even 1 Ghana cedis on cleared balance, your data would be on the credit reference, and once we check and you are in that cohort, you don't qualify.
To go and clear it and come back.
Well, you can clear. Sometimes it may be the result of miscalculations and all that. So if you clear and your financial institution gives you clearance letter, we would consider it. Even that, we would have to conduct our own independence check just to gain the comfort we need to deliver that loan.
So in all of this, is there a minimum loan amount that can be applied for under this promotion?
Yeah, I mean, as low as 1,000 Ghana cedis.
As low as 1,000 Ghana cedis. And as high as
700,000 Ghana cedis.
22%.
Fixed.
Fixed.
Doesn't change.
Yes, it doesn't.
It's
On reducing
down,
balance.
reducing balance.
Yes.
Effectively 13.1%.
So you see, this whole package, anybody who has heard the details seem to be amazed and marveled by the detail. But we are saying that GCB, that's what we were actually established for. In 1953, when our forebears set up this bank, they had a clear vision, and the vision was to provide unrivaled banking solutions to Ghanaians and people who work within Ghana. And so from day one, we haven't lost that on us. And so that's why we are giving this as a matter of thanking our customers for having banked with us all these years, and to also call prospective customers. In Ghana here, every single person might have had a GCB touch. No matter what.
Everybody.
And so it's also an opportunity for our customers who have left us to come back home, because GCB is where they belong. And that's why we have provided an option for refinancing. You may be taking a facility with a bank that is offering you 20 9%. All we are saying is that switch to GCB, skip the stress, and then you come to us, we give you that cash, because in these times we don't understand why you should be paying 29% when you can actually get 22%.
Amazing stuff. So it started on the 12th. It's ending on the 31st.
Of January.
So bring your salary account to GCB and come and take loan.
Yes.
Any special message to our viewers or listeners or customers before we leave?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we want to tell our customers that we are discerning. We know the times that they are in. We are offering an opportunity for them to come and get a secure financing. They should take advantage of the opportunity. It's a 6-month promo. So we are ready, and our customers, our staff are all over. Our sales team are going to the customers, even though we wouldn't mind them coming to the banking halls. Our sales teams are all over visiting institutions and then offering them these packages as well. So apart from that, they can also get in touch with our toll-free number. It's 0800 422 422, and then the WhatsApp number is 0202 422 422. So they can contact us via WhatsApp, via phone as well, our customer experience department, to also gather all the information that they need on that. So they are all welcome to GCB.
GCB Bank.
Your bank for life.
Your bank
Your
for
bank
life.
for life.
Yep.
Yeah, that's my mother's bank.
Yeah.
Wow.
And your bank.
Your
Yes,
bank
my
as
bank.
well.
I have an account there. I have an account at GCB,
Yeah.
so I'm coming for loan.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
So
for
if I
joining
may
us.
say,
We have to wrap this up now.
if I may say this one, these days these social engineers and the scammers are all over calling customers that they need to link their Ghana card to the bank account, and in most cases they end up defrauding them. We are saying that at GCB we have every single information we need about our customers, and we will never, the emphasis is never, call any customer of ours on phone to relay their details to us. And so when they receive such calls, they should discount them and call us on our toll-free line 0800 422 422, and we would track the numbers that call them and work with NCA to deal with them.
All right, very well. Thank you very much, Sina Kamagate. Thank you for joining us. Executive Head of Retail Banking at GCB Bank, and Belendo Furi Jampo, who is Head of Products and Promotions at GCB Bank. Hurry while stocks last. That is what they say. Special loan promotion. Special loan promotion with GCB Bank. So bring your salary to GCB and take the loan.
And enjoy.
And then get the cash. Leave the stress and come for the cash. That's right. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
for
Thank you.
joining us here in the studio. You're still watching GH Today here on GHOne Television. We want to do a special premiere of a new song by Stone Boy. This song is called Jeje, and it was produced by Ginton, directed by Banini. It's a single, and it's on the Burnington Music Group record label, and it's an amazing song that we're premiering here on GH1 Television. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Jeje by Stone Boy. You're welcome back to the show. You're still watching GH Today here on GHOne Television. And we want to say a big thank you for watching. And we'll be back again tomorrow to bring you another edition of the show. It's been great having you. Quite a lot of issues have been talked about. Of course, during the breakfast review segments, you heard all the various issues that we discussed with regard to the fight against illegal mining. You heard us talk about the NDC and their request or demand, if you want to put it that way, on the EC to do a forensic audit of the register and other matters arising. And if these are issues that you feel strongly about, you may want to get in touch with us on our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, and X, of course, YouTube as well. Leave us a comment. Let's activate the phone lines and try and talk to a few of you with regard to this menace against illegal mining, the issues that have got to do with the EC and a credible register, among other things. And let's hear what some of you have got to say right before we wrap the show up, because by 10 o'clock, of course, we'll be wrapping it all up here on the GH1 TV, GH Today. And so we'll get into the phone lines. I'm pretty sure you see the numbers at the bottom of the screen. And when you do see the numbers, you can give us a call and let us have a conversation. Talk to us with regard to some of the issues that you've heard us discuss on the show this morning. Like I mentioned, we've talked about galamsey, which is a very big problem here in this country that we've been dealing with. And up till now, we seemingly have not been able to win the fight against galamsey. And it is ravaging us. It is, destroying everything. And we are in a very precarious situation. And I'm pretty sure you've heard this before, that if we don't take care, we'll start importing what already. The Ghana Water Company Limited is finding it so difficult to treat the water that comes through our taps. It's very difficult for them to do so because of the turbidity levels of the waters that run through the taps. And so it's a very big problem that needs to be dealt with. If it is not dealt with, we are sitting on a ticking time bomb, and when it explodes, it's going to engulf all of us. So how do we deal with it? That's one of the things that you can talk about. The numbers are there at the bottom of the screen. So let's pick a few of your calls on this nice Tuesday morning before we wrap up GH Today. I believe we have our first caller on the line. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for calling us. Welcome to the show.
Please, I want to take part. Hello, good morning.
Can you come again?
Thank you.
Okay, all right. By all means, go ahead.
They need the program Moyano and the pay. Now, Galan say, China Yakano, which me.
Mitiopa.
Aya, a nimpa, Amma Galan say no program about you wanted the problem being no. No more Mamma Galan say the program about no. Aya, MPP for an Ankasana, Aya Galan say, Kimani Bino. Omo no Mamma. Problem about the demand. What will say? Among your mother said, or in the banner and the papa chiasi. It's the Jumano baby answer, Omoyano. Omo has a baby and father say, where you get another one and people for no agent man. Omo ye Jumana, national security for agent of war, Omo bomb mobile. Ube do one no with the NPP flag, essence of Mutemu. They said to say what about a police station there yet, no Omutu FPP boys. What about Bremu Bridge? I say, Omutu Galamsey, a highway, a FPP boys. Who do a train station, roadside, Omutu, a FPP boys. Power line, Omutu, a FPP boys. Oman Cassan, Omunum, you come here, Oba, a memoir, Obi, Momuso, FPP for. It's not getting the South for no, and then you come so we get more sure the most so I hear woman in the people boys. It is a quiet dear. So boom Russell and I buy Nankasa MPP and my hand and who found the dear one giant the party for the pay. And firm and Domo ye, and I'm Bradamo and the more respect and Brana. The committee is a program I beg and say on to Taramba. Because ya betty Ashanti region, ya say chama won to me as a forest. Yes, Chama won't to me as for what you say about any different person be apart from Chama won't to me. Nti adeti na MPP for na kese omu ye adwuma ni bi no omo mfa embra e wo mine na ho no omo mfa ye adwuma na me adwuma na asomdwe emba. Nti the maker say so omo ye pese man ye pese galamsey adwuma no so no ye a okay MPP for na ye adwuma no aban na check on ankacha no ko because MPP for ye adwuma DC for ni mo amo MC for ni mo amo police come any more MPs any more. All right. The Juma MPP for now the Juma will be answer so Juma. But I say.
Yo, Dasi, thank you very much for your call to us here on the show today. You can also come through with yours. Let's hear what you've got to say. We've activated the phone line right before we wrap this up. So give us a call and let's have a conversation as well. It's because of Galamsey that Democracy Hub has been demonstrating for the past 3 days because they wanted to stop. We have another call on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Adam.
Yes, sir. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the show. Talk to us.
My name is Awal calling from Bimbila.
Awal in Bimbila.
Yes, please.
Yes, what's on your mind? Talk to us.
Yes, Lantam, I want to speak on galamsey as well as what the Electoral Commission is doing, and I'll be very fast about it. I think with the galamsey, all Ghanaians have come to realize is that the MPP has no will to fight anything with regards to galamsey. Look, they always say that the NDC is also an impediment on their fight against galamsey. Look, you have all the states, security beside you that can aid in fighting whatsoever. You have the military you can deploy, you have the police you can deploy, and what have you. Even if leading NDC members are part of those who are who are doing the illegal mining, you can deploy those, they'll go and deal with them. I think GHOne told us that even if they go to the mining site and they should kill them. So it means that they can they can fight because they have the military and the police, beside them. All the reason why they can't fight it is that they have the party bigwigs who are deeply involved in the galamsey. So because of that, they cannot enforce certain things. We have people who go to to fight the galamsey, yes, and when they go there, they see party people, big people who call them and tell them that if they do that, they are going to deal with them. So definitely they are handicapped and they can't fight that. With the Electoral Commission, I think nobody has to say anything to explain anything further to the Electoral Commission for them to know that we need an audit with the voters register. The National Democratic Congress pointed out to you initially that they had issues with voter transfer and other issues, and you said it was a lie. It turned out to be false, even if it's a single incident. For the fact that the Electoral Commission themselves were not aware of the fact that their system has been tempered into, and because of that, the biggest opposition party brought that to light, is significant enough for them to know that yes, certain things may be in the register that they are not privy to. So because of that, they should go with the audit. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
All right, thank you very much for your call to us as well. And no one has said here on this platform that the issue of voter transfers illegally didn't happen or it was a lie. That was never said on this platform. It's always been fact that the EC admitted that some names were transferred in Pusigan. We've always made that clear. So that's a bit of a correction there. But you can also give us a call. I think we have time to pick a few more of your calls, maybe about 2 or 3 more of your calls. So give us a call if you see the number at the bottom of the screen. And let's have a conversation. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for calling.
Yeah, I'm Papanko Adams.
Come again?
Hello.
Yes, hello. I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm Papanko Adams.
Adams. All right, Adams. Yeah. Talk to us. Then I'll welcome.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Adams. Adams Kasa. Talk to us.
Hello.
Adams, talk to us. We can hear you. Too bad. We seem to have lost Adams there on the line. I don't know what the problem was with the phone connection. But then again, I think we can pick a few more calls so that we wrap up GH Today here on GH1 Television. So do give us a call. We've been talking about the galamsey menace and just how much of a problem it is for us. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for joining us. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Isaac. I'm calling from Accra.
All right, Isaac in Accra. Talk to us.
Yes, I just want to add my voice to the ongoing debate about the galamsey and the voters register.
Right.
Yes, I'm a man who, as a Ghanaian, equally need peace. But looking at the trend of events now in the country, I don't think that democracy will bring that peace that we want or solve the galamsey issue. We need a military intervention as soon as possible. You know, when Warren took over, somewhere in the I was, I think, 10 years or so.
When you say we need a military intervention, what are you talking about? Are you saying there should be are you advocating for a coup?
Democracy.
Because the reason why I ask is that we cannot allow you to use this platform to advocate for a coup. That is something we will not allow.
No, I am not advocating for a coup. You see, we are behaving like ostriches. And hello?
I can hear you.
Yes, we are behaving like ostriches and we are not confronting the issues head on. And that is what is killing this country. You let me put that aside. You see, yesterday I was talking to a guy who has been involved in the galamsey, just a young guy. And he was telling me the kind of site he's worked before and the people he worked for. He mentioned Reverend, the one who they call the Nation for who should be person also for acting. He mentioned we could look at the kind of people he mentioned. So surprised and I was so worried. And these people, the men of God, they hold the Bible and they preach to us, and they are also involved in galamsey. They are not speaking in galamsey.
This is not something that we can verify. These allegations that you are making without providing us with any evidence. So
that is why you are media.
This is something that we've not verified here. So
just do your own investigation, and you come out with a truth to buttress what I am saying.
Very well. Very well. Thank you. Thank you very much for your call to us here on the show today. And maybe we can pick one more call before we wrap all of this up. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Thank you for joining us. Tell us your name, where you're calling us from.
Okay, please, for some reasons, safety reasons, I would like to excuse my name, please. I'm calling from Savio, also, Kofi Krum.
Very well. Talk to us.
This galamsey issue that is popping up in this community, and the tragedy or the sad news is that they were able to convince the youth here that it is community mining, and it's so disgusting that we, the youth here, has accepted it. And who betrays you, anyone who tries to go contrary, they've alleged to attack you or anyone who tried to conflict them about this. And I don't know, they've able to fed the youth that it is accepted now to do community mining by galamsey, it is abolished. And I want you to clarify to me whether or with your basis that is it allowed to do community mining as we are talking about here. And it baffles me because when they go anywhere, they say they are doing community mining, which is galamsey, but they will not say it is galamsey. So please, I want you to help so that this thing here will be stopped.
All right. Very well. Thank you. Thank you very much for bringing this to our attention, and thank you very much for your call. Thank you to all of you who called into the program this morning for us to have this conversation. Really appreciate you being a part of it. We've got just about 6 minutes more to wrap this up, but we have a very brief conversation that we'll bring to you right before we go. Mr. John Nkol is here in the studio. He is Country Director for Action Aid Ghana. And we want to talk today about, fossil fuels and the kind of impact that has on food security.
Right.
Mr. Anko, good morning. Welcome.
Thank you so much, and good morning to your cherished listeners.
Yes, and
I'm happy to be here.
Yes, we're happy to have you. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time, but I believe subsequently we'll have more time to really get into these issues. But when it comes to the situation with fossil fuel, financing and all of that, just how bad it is it? Paint a picture for us.
Yeah.
And the effects of it.
So when we talk of fossil fuel, we're talking basically about the extraction of hydrocarbons.
Yeah.
Particularly, we talk about fuels, we talk about gasoline, we talk about gas. And what is happening in the global system under the Steady Action Aid has led in almost about 42 countries that we are represented. We have found that there is a lot of money going into fossil fuel extraction. Conversely, there's less money going into fighting or finding solutions to the climate destructive tendencies of fossil fuel extraction.
So we are drilling the oil, we are getting the crude, we are getting the petrol, the diesel and all of that. And a lot of money is going in there.
Fantastic.
And that is destroying the environment.
It's destroying the ecosystem, it's destroying biodiversity, it's even affecting destructively the production of food systems in many developing countries.
How is that happening, And I would imagine that this is affecting farmers as well.
Fantastic point. So first, you realize that the fossil fuel extraction is dominated by multinational companies. What that means is that they use a large sense of huge machinery into the extraction of these hydrocarbons, and they make a lot of money, and most of these monies are transported out of the country. That's one point. Secondly, governments subsidize in terms of cash and also tax incentives to most of these companies. And what Action Aid in the study found out is that globally about $677 billion goes into subsidization of the hydrocarbons industry. What that means is that even though governments are losing a lot in terms of not only the health and economic implications of fossil fuel extraction, but government is using its scarce resources to subsidize their activities. And that is the pain of this research. Conversely, as I said earlier on, the huge profits that they are making, one would have expected that there would be a lot more carbon-related grants. If you look at the COPs, the Conference of Parties that we go in, year out, there are a lot of promises and commitments made, particularly geared towards how can polluter nations subsidize, systems in developing countries who are suffering, unfortunately, by contributing less to the pollution of the environment. But yes, they are the receiving end. Frontline communities, if you look at our country today, you realize galamsey is a major issue. Water systems are impacted. Cocoa farms are impacted. So to what extent can government continue to make the argument of the trickle-down effect of this investment, wherein there are health hazards, wherein even the economic argument in terms of employment, we are still struggling with employment, the health implications are hazardous, even renewable energy transition, the level of investment that goes there is so minimal. It's about 40 times less than the investment that go into hydrocarbons. If you talk about the grants that I'm talking about, the research demonstrated that about 1/10 of the commitment to subsidize, to promote adaptation methodologies, to promote food crop systems in developing countries, it receives only 1/20% of what has been promised.
That's quite alarming, and I would have loved for us to have a lot of time to really get into this.
Yeah.
But I believe that there is a conference about this tomorrow. So can you briefly tell us about that?
So as a result of this research, or if you like, Action Aid timed the Global Week of Action on Climate Change, which is usually held in September, to coincide with this research report. In addition to that, in Ghana, we have also been looking at how to promote organic farming systems, because it's a sustainable farming methodology, wherein about 80% of food crop farmers in Ghana are engaged in the agricultural subsector. Women particularly are at the center of it, And the research is demonstrating that agroecology, organic farming systems will add a lot more value in terms of fighting climate change, but more importantly, ensuring that food crop farmers remain in employment. We all now call on government to use its policy alternatives to ensure enhanced investment.
Right.
Most of these subsidies, thankfully, government reviewed our incentives or tax incentive policy, and it is our clarion call that government will use the policy instrument to mitigate or reduce the influx, the huge money that goes in fossil fuel extraction, and invest a lot more in agroecology, so our women can have their farms, our food crop farmers can have farms, and therefore employment will be generated and contribute to the economic growth of Ghana.
All right, very well. So what time is the program happening tomorrow?
The program starts tomorrow, and technically we invite the media to be there with all of us.
All right.
And then we would have a very interesting conversation. We have the academia coming to submit reports. We have civil society organization there, and we believe at the end of the day we collectively contribute towards Ghana's development.
All right, very well. Mr. GHOne, unfortunately we didn't have a lot of time, but thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
On this note, we will wrap up GH Today here on GH1 Television. My name is Lantam Papanko. Have a good day.